Firouzja. So I'm expecting Firouzja to play solid. Do not take the game into an endgame. If there's something that we've seen that Magnus is perhaps slightly weak, if weak is the right word, in unclear, complex positions. Definitely nothing to do in an endgame.
Yeah, he's just got to try and attack Magnus and use the kind of Dubov strategy. Daniel Dubov having beaten Magnus Carlsen on several occasions in the tour so far by just throwing everything at Magnus and attacking him. Magnus showing it in those last two games already today that he strategically he can create these kind of dominating positions, and Firouzja can't go for that. Meanwhile, okay, he has started Firouzja by playing with his queen's pawn. Will we see a transposition to the queen's gambit? Magnus, meanwhile, just pushing a pawn there. Very flexible from both sides. Firouzja now just deciding what to do. And okay, maybe not the most critical type of opening, just pushing a pawn there. I think this is something you've done on occasion, Jovanka.
Yes, very rarely when I've been playing my second game of the day, you know, and I need to get my opponent out of theory. Occasionally I try out this very unambitious system just on the basis that, hey, I'm going to be playing my own kind of game. But I have to say something about like the Dubov approach where he just really goes for the jugular against Magnus. I think it's actually very, very difficult if you're kind of a classical player to suddenly switch approaches and just kind of play high-risk chess, because the thing is, you can do this high-risk stuff in the middle game and it's not that risky, but if you do it straight from the opening, then you start burning the bridges very, very quickly and it's almost like there's no going back. And I think Magnus, I don't think this opening that Firouzja played is particularly scary. And the problem is that these days it's becoming more and more popular that people have the tendency to kind of sit down and work out what they're going to do against it.
Yeah, so the reason we say that this type of opening is not so ambitious for White is because actually White's central pawns now, they block in White's dark squared bishop. So White's dark squared bishop there next to the queen, completely blocked in. This doesn't have a great future, at least in the short term. That is why Firouzja pushes a pawn. He wants to develop his dark square bishop to the longest possible diagonal. This system, it does have some hidden venom later on. Actually, earlier we saw the Ginger GM, we saw Simon Williams, and he's produced some content on this type of opening. He's found some great ideas in this opening, and he wins many games. Every time I face Simon Williams, he tries to utilize this opening with White against me. So there is some hidden venom later on in the game. White's initial moves are very simple, very easy and logical to play. That's probably why Firouzja is choosing it in a rapid game. In rapid chess, with only 15 minutes on the clock, you just want Yeah, Magnus maybe missing a way to a forced draw there, but it's still under control for now.
But there's still maybe some nasty traps in the air, right? So, I mean, say the white king takes a step back. I think you have to move it directly backwards. I don't think you can move to the diagonal because you have to keep control of the queen giving checks. And so this is the move that I'm thinking about. And yeah, I was just going to say, I don't think that Magnus should be tempted to now capture the pawn because I think that would be a huge, huge mistake.
So, for example, if we do see
we're going to see a repetition.
If Magnus Carlsen steps forward with his queen again, giving a check, that will be the second time we've seen that position. Okay, Magnus does not repeat. So Magnus does not allow a threefold repetition, but he's on the defensive. I think he would have been happy with the draw, but maybe he was scared that Firouzja would not repeat the position and move his king to a different square. So instead, Magnus kind of preempts that. I think it's a bit of a psychological power play there. Magnus just wants to say, okay, I'm not scared, I don't want the draw. And Magnus just retreats his king. Firouzja, meanwhile, bringing his queen back. Look at those clock times as well. Firouzja with under 30 seconds. Could we see some nerves from the youngster? As we have in over-the-board tournaments between these guys, over-the-board clashes. Meanwhile, White has a big threat here. Black's bishop is pinned. It cannot move because White's queen would attack the black king. Therefore, White is threatening to just push a pawn, attacking that black bishop and winning that black bishop. So Magnus has to deal with that. How will he deal with it? He might give check with his queen. He might just move his king out of the way. There we go. He does move his king out of the way. And, okay, the ball is back in Firouzja's court. Okay, he brought his queen forward. And, okay, that's the third time we've seen this position. And the game is agreed draw.
Wow.
So quick, so sudden.
Yes.
Firouzja, I thought he maybe could have tried to play for the win there. There was still some life left.
I was expecting
30 seconds left.
Some pawn advance. I mean, the thing is with the online chess is that you can accidentally repeat the position 3 times, and you